Hello, welcome to Siren Walk number 8. So I'm going to be down here in South Los Angeles today, checking out a couple of the sirens that they have in this area. Not going to be too many today. See, there I am. South Central feeds families. I love these murals. I love finding all these murals around town. There's so many murals in Los Angeles. I'm thinking about doing like a mural walk video, but you know, that's for another time. Today we're going to check out some more sirens. I believe there's only about 4 sirens today. Should be about an 8-mile walk. I've never been down here in the South LA area before, so I'm looking forward to checking it out and looking forward to see what sirens we can find. Let's go to the first one. I got this South Los Angeles Wetlands Park over here. This seems pretty cool. There's all these people jogging and walking around, but in the middle there are these ponds and stuff, and I've seen a white crane, I've seen some Canadian geese, and all sorts of birds over here. So seems like a really nice area to come and, I don't know, walk around and hang out. All right, so here's our first siren right there. It's on Town Street between 57th and 58th, and this is just it's kind of just south of the South Los Angeles Wetland Park. So as we can see, we're back to the SD10 sirens here in South LA. So these would have been the sirens put in around for the Cold War civil defense system. Now, for this trip, I made it a point not to look up the types of sirens that we're going to see, so that I could just be surprised myself by each one that I come upon. So let's see what the next one's going to look like. Again, I just love all the street art that I come across as I walk around here in Los Angeles. I think I'm a fairly decent illustrator, but I don't think I could ever do this. I mean, this stuff is pretty cool. You know, look at these things. You know, somebody put thought into this. So from that SD10, I made a right on Slauson, and I walked down like a mile or two until I got to 58th Street. Actually, this is Vermont, and then on the corner of Vermont and 58th, this is our next siren, which is a 500. And I'm learning now. This is actually, from what I'm told, a 500 SH-TT. The SH for spinning horn. So this siren up here, the horn spins around, and the TT stands for two-tone. So it has a if you listen to it, it's gonna have a 2-tone modulation. So getting close with my camera here, you can see the siren is moving back and forth in the wind. So it's kind of cool. I would love to see one of these things go 360, but for the moment, I think this is the closest I'm gonna get to seeing one of these sirens move. So now from here, I gotta go back to Slauson, and I gotta go back and re-walk the mile or two I just walked, plus an additional mile to our next siren back in South LA, closer to that park we were at. You have to excuse the sound. I'm on an overpass, but I just wanted to point out that once the world gets back to normal post-COVID, you can take many of these trips on the Los Angeles Metro. This is the Slauson stop on the Silver Line, which is the bus line that goes down the 110. So you could go and take the Silver Line Metro line to Slauson and then do this same trip that I was just doing. So keep that in mind for the future if you're interested in checking these sirens out. So from that 500, I went back to Slauson, went all the way down Slauson, east down Slauson, till I got to Compton, which is this street here behind me. I made a left on Compton, came up Compton to 50th Street, and on the corner of 50th and Compton, here's our next siren. It's another SD10. So yeah, so 2 SD10s so far. Again, this one seems to be in good shape. There's no power hooked up to it, just like all the others, except for the phone line. All right, so behind me there, you can see the A line, or the blue line, that goes all the way to Long Beach. It goes from downtown to Long Beach. I think they're updating that, so it's going to go all the way from Long Beach and then cut over and continue on to Santa Monica. But I could be wrong. Anyway, not here for that, but just to show you where I am. So that's the A line right there along Long Beach Boulevard, and I'm on a street called Stoughton, which is just on the other side of that, just east of that. And on the corner of Stoughton and 45th, we have our next siren here. And there you go, it's one of the old classic ones. It's a Federal Signal Corporation Model 7. I'm gonna start calling these Model 7s. This, I think that's what they look like. and it's one of our classic true air raid sirens that was installed, as we learned, in the 40s. So this was part of the original civil defense air raid system of Los Angeles. And I lied. So at the last one, I said there were only 4 sirens on this trip. I double checked my map. I have a 5th siren, so I guess we're gonna get a bonus siren only because I screwed up on the last one. So from here, I'm gonna continue down Vernon to our next siren, and I'll see you there. So I'm walking down the street here, and I come across this church that the sign says was built in 1906. And I looked in here at the doorway, and if you look there, you'll see these metal things on the ground. There's one here, and there's one over there, right there. These are things I have not ever seen in Los Angeles. I know what they are. I'll give you a minute. Do you think you know what they are? They're boot scrapers. So before you go into the church, you can scrape the mud off of your feet. If this building was built in 1906, these roads didn't exist at that time. If you've ever seen photographs of Los Angeles in 1906, there was a lot of dirt roads and horses still. So yeah, boot scrapers. I see those on the East Coast a lot. First time I've ever seen those here on the West Coast. I love the things I find on these trips. So from that Model 7 that we saw there at the swap meet, I went back to Vernon. I walked all the way down Vernon west until I got to a street called Avalon. And here on the corner of 48th and Avalon is our final siren, an SD10. Just like all the others, this one is not hooked up. As a matter of fact, I don't even see a phone line going to it. Here's the phone line connection that is going up to the siren there. Yeah, it's totally disconnected. The phone line's not gonna work. And I took a picture, there's no power going to it. So unless they come back and fix this phone line and add power, this one's not gonna be running anytime soon. So we got to see a couple of good sirens on this one. I got one more trip in the South Los Angeles area, and then I got some decisions to make, whether to go west towards the ocean or north towards like Eagle Rock and stuff. But I think we got a good variety today. We got one of the Model 7s, which is our World War II siren, and then we got 3 of the SD10s and one of the 500 single horn 2-tone sirens. And that one was pretty cool because it was blowing in the wind. As you can see from the camera moving, it's kind of windy day today. But remember to like and subscribe if you like what I'm doing. As always, leave comments. I do try to answer as many as I can or find the answers for you. And until next time, I encourage you to get out on your own day trips, but remember to stay safe and stay healthy.